Your credit score is quietly costing you money every single month, and most people have no idea how much. Not a little, possibly tens of thousands of dollars on a car, over $100,000 on a house, and hundreds of dollars a year on insurance you are possibly overpaying without even understanding. I'm gonna put real numbers on it, the actual difference between a 620 credit score and a 760, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how to move your credit score into the range that stops the bleeding. Let's start with the biggest one, a house. Right now, on a $350,000 mortgage over 30 years, a borrower with a 760 score is getting around a 6.15% interest rate, which is about $2,133 a month. Take that exact same loan, same house, same everything, and give it to a borrower with a 620 score, and that rate jumps to around 7.7%. That is about $2,505 a month. That is $372 more every single month for 30 years for the identical house. Run it over a full term and it is roughly $134,000 in extra interest. Same house, the only thing that changed was the number on your credit report and the interest rate you got on that loan. And here's the part most people miss. Because at 620, you often do not get a conventional mortgage at all. You get pushed into FHA or get turned down completely. So a low score does not just cost you more, it can cost you the house if you don't get approved. Now for a car, because everybody buys a car. On a new car loan right now, a super prime borrower that has a 780 or above is getting around a 4.66% interest rate, give or take about 0.5%. A borrower with a near prime range, roughly 601 to 660, is getting closer to 9% interest rate, and a subprime, even a worse score than that, they're getting above a 10% interest rate on an auto loan. On a $30,000 auto loan over 5 years, the gap between the top tier and the bottom tier is roughly $219 a month and around $13,000 of extra interest on the entire loan. And that's just on a $30,000 car. But here's one thing that stings extra. It's the difference between a 670 and a 650. Two scores most people would call generally decent is a jump from about 6.3% to closer to 9% because you move into that next bracket, which is around $2,770 in extra interest alone on that same loan. So 20 points difference of your score and $2,800 extra out of your pocket. Now let's talk about insurance, because no one really talks about the rates, how they're affected by your credit score. So in about 46 states that allow it, and only California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, and Michigan do not, your insurer pulls a credit-based score to help set your premium. Nationally, a driver with poor credit roughly pays 40% more for the exact same car insurance as a driver with excellent credit. And in some states, the gap runs a lot higher. In real dollars, that is around $1,000 to $2,000 a year every year for as long as you drive until you get a new rate, until you get your credit score up, and then get a new rate, and then start saving money. You never see it itemized. It is just baked into your premium. And that certainly adds up over your life. One house, a few cars, decades of insurance, and a weak credit score quietly costs a normal person well into the six figures. That is the real price. Not a worse number on paper, real money that's out of your pocket that you never get back. And one thing to understand about which score they even use, because people get this wrong all the time. When you apply for a mortgage, the lender pulls all three of your credit bureaus and uses your middle score, not your highest. And if you are buying with a partner, they take both of your middle scores and use the lower of the two. So it is not enough to have one good score on the bureau. On just one bureau, you want to have three strong, because the weakest one is often the one that they price the loan on. That alone is the reason to pull all three credit bureaus and know your real numbers, and of course, make sure the numbers are good. So you want to pull your actual FICO score, not your Vantage score off your phone app or the bank app, but your FICO score, because that is the number they're actually looking at, not your Vantage, which is usually inflated. Second, a strong score gets you access to the best personal credit cards. And this is where it flips from defense to offense. Below a 700, you are getting the starter cards, low limits, and rewards that are worth basically nothing. Above a 720, you unlock the cards that actually start to pay you back. The Amex Gold, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, possibly the Reserve, the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey, cards from banks that actually earn you bank transferable points, which I talk in other videos on why that is so crucial to do, more than just cash back or more than just using a debit card. Like Bank of America, US Bank, their points aren't worth that much because you can't transfer them out of the bank. So ultimately, getting your credit score to the 720 plus allows you to get the best personal credit cards, so you get the best possible rewards, so you can use those for free travel and also enjoy some of the other amazing benefits of these cards. When you earn the bank transferable points, you can then transfer them to airline transfer partners like Delta, American Airlines, other international airlines, so you can use those points for free travel and get much more value than if you use those points in the bank portal. And by getting access to the best possible personal credit cards, this is how I've been able to travel in business class around the world for the last 7+ years with my credit card points and using them to book business class travel. You need to have a good credit score and you need to get the best personal credit cards so you can earn the best possible bank transferable credit card points and then use them for travel. Okay, now I want to get specific about some of these cards on how much they actually basically pay you, because the benefits are where this stops being a marketing line and starts being real money and real value in your pocket. The Amex Gold card carries a $325 annual fee, but it earns 4 points per dollar spent at US supermarkets, up to $25,000 of spend every single year. 4 points per dollar spent at restaurants comes loaded with $424 a year in statement credits that offsets much of the annual fee, and you can use those at things such as Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and it runs a super high welcome bonus on this card, usually about 100,000 points when you spend some money on the card in the first 6 months. The Wells Fargo Autograph Journey has a $95 annual fee, but a $50 airline credit on flights, which you can use also on bags, which really brings the annual fee of the card basically down to $50 if you consider that credit. And it earns 5 points per dollar spent when you book directly with the hotels, 4 points per dollar spent on the card when you book directly with airlines, and 3 points per dollar spent on everything else that's considered travel, like Uber, things like that. Plus, you get a credit towards global entry or TSA PreCheck, and there's 0 foreign transaction fees on this card. And it also has a welcome bonus of about 60,000 points once you spend a few $1,000s on the card in the first 3 months. The reason I'm telling you these benefits is because when you get your credit score to a 720 plus, you can then get access to these cards. These are some of my favorite cards in terms of earning rewards at the best possible banks like American Express, Chase, and Wells Fargo. So the next card I'm going to talk about is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This one's a little bit more of an expensive one, about a $795 annual fee, but it throws off a $300 annual travel credit, which applies automatically, which basically reduces that annual fee by $300 right off the rip. You get priority pass lounge access, and it earns 8 points per dollar spent on travel when you book the travel through the Chase portal. And if you don't book it through the Chase portal, you then get 4 points per dollar spent, which is awesome. And the welcome bonuses on this card is around 150,000 points. Now let's actually run the math, because this is where people's eyes glaze over and they miss the real numbers. Say you spend $12,000 a year on groceries and $5,000 a year on personal travel, which is pretty normal household budget. Run the groceries through the Amex Gold at 4 points per dollar spent, and that is 48,000 membership reward points a year on money you were already spending anyways. Run the travel through Autograph Journey, and depending on how much lands on hotels versus flights, you are looking at somewhere between 20 and 25,000 points on that same $5,000 of spend in the year. That is roughly 70,000 points a year from those spending categories before you even touch the welcome offers. Stack the sign-up bonuses on top on those same 2 cards, up to 100,000 on the Gold and 60,000 on the Autograph Journey. You are sitting on around 230,000 points in just the first year on spending you were already going to spend. At a conservative transfer value of 2 cents a point, that is over $4,600 of travel, and that is the floor not the ceiling, because when you transfer into the right sweet spots, the math gets a lot better when you transfer these to airlines. I have personally flown business class to Poland and Brazil in the same month, lie flat seats, champagne on the takeoff, over $12,600 in flights for 200,000 points and $237 total out of my pocket. Redeemed as cash in the bank's portal, these same 200,000 points get you about $2,000. Transferred to the right partner and booked in business class, they got me $12,600 worth of value on these 2 tickets alone. That is 5 to 10 times more value on the same points just by knowing where to send them. And then first getting a good credit score, then getting the right card, earning the right points, and then sending them to the right airline. And the cards stack real benefits on top of that math. Statement credits that offset the annual fee, airport lounge access, a credit towards global entry and TSA pre-check so you save time in lines, and airline status that gets you upgraded seats and free checked bags before you have even touched your points and the other benefits of these cards. This has been a genuine game changer in how I live and travel business class internationally, at this point several times a year, sometimes 1 or 2 times a month, for a few $100s in the taxes and fees instead of 5 figures in cash. But you do not even get in the door to these cards until your score clears that 720 bar. Third, and this is specifically where I spend most of my time thinking, a strong personal credit profile is the single biggest factor in how much business credit and how many business lines of credit that you can get. It's not your revenue, not how old your LLC is, your personal credit profile. Here's what that actually unlocks. With the right personal credit profile behind you, you can get approved for $150,000 to $250,000 in business credit at 0% interest for 7 to 18 months, depending on the bank. And here's the part that changes how people think about it. Most of these business cards do not report to your personal credit report. You can use the credit, carry a balance through the 0% interest window, and your personal credit score stays basically unaffected because that account is not reporting. And that is money you can simply just inject straight into your business or investments, into inventory, ad spend. You can hire someone, you can put it into another deal, make more money with the bank's cash instead of using your own money, and you can do it at 0% interest while your personal credit profile stays exactly clean as the day you applied, with the exception of a couple extra hard inquiries. And you can get these types of 0% interest funding without proof of income or showing your tax returns. It's all based on your personal credit profile and the stated business income. And of course, a bank relationship can help, but it's mainly your profile and the stated income. I have funded my own businesses with hundreds of thousands of dollars at 0% interest business credit this exact way. And the reason I could is my personal score and profile were dialed in first. To really explain how to get access to $150K of 0% interest on business credit cards, we would break this up into 6 different banks, possibly 4, but sometimes 6, such as Chase, in this example, $50,000, American Express, $20,000, Bank of America, $35,000, Elon Financial, $30,000, and Wells Fargo, maybe about $15,000. That's how you would theoretically get a total of $150,000. I say theoretically because this is a common example I see. The limits can vary, but generally those are limits I see. And we do this every week for people inside both my mentorship program, Credit Stacking, as well as my done-for-you funding service, Scale with Funding. If you're interested in those, I'll drop those links right down below in the description. And just like on the personal side, the right business card stack earns real rewards on top of your funding. So if your business spends heavily on dining or advertising, the American Express Business Gold is an absolute no-brainer. 4 points per dollar spent in the top 2 categories because those are the same transferable membership reward points we just talked about, and you can move them to an airline or hotel partners and fly for free in the same premium class business class cabin that I've been talking about. The Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business stacks on top of that and gives additional rewards on different categories, mainly on travel, and it has lounge access and other awesome travel credits and statement credits that come with the reserve. But when people ask me why they got denied for business credit cards and 0% interest funding, the answer is almost always sitting on their personal credit report. So if you have a business or you're going to have one, your personal credit profile should be the priority. Now the part that actually matters, how to strengthen your profile. And here is the good news. If your score is under 700, it is almost always one or two things, and both are flexible. Number one, and this is the biggest, negative payment history. Late payments, collections, charge-offs, a few extra hard inquiries that should not be there. Well, thanks to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the US government makes it very effective for consumers like me and you to actually dispute those negative items and get the negative payment history removed from the report, but only if you know precisely how. I actually have a done-for-you credit repair service that handles all of the disputing and removing things like that, like late payments, collections, etc. So if you do need help on this, feel free to book a call with Carlo on my team. We'll drop that link right down below. But if you truly have negative payment history, it's extremely important you get this taken care of first before anything else I have talked about in this video so far. Generally, it can take a few months to remove a collection, but it's well worth the wait. Number two is high balances. This is utilization, and it is the fastest score move there is. Utilization is how much of each credit card of the limit that you're using. And the rule is simple. Under 30% on each card, under 10% utilization is ideal. And if you pay it down before the statement closing date, then your score is going to shoot up once the credit bureau is updated by the bank. And also with these cards, with personal credit cards, you can fully max out the cards, but if you just pay it down before the statement closing date, you're gonna maintain a low balance that's reporting to the credit bureaus. I have watched a pay down from maxed to under 10% move a score 40, 50, as high as 100 points on my personal report in just one reporting cycle. Faster than anything else you can do in terms of boosting your credit score. So right now, if your balances are high and you cannot pay them off in cash, you are not stuck. You can move that balance somewhere that does not hurt your utilization. For example, a personal loan. Personal loan is where you can get a personal loan, an installment loan, and then use that new loan money to pay down your utilization. So after you get approved for this loan and pay down that credit card, the loan is going to increase your debt to income ratio, but it's going to reduce your utilization, which is going to dramatically increase your score. That is a whole strategy of its own, and I have another video on it specifically on my channel, but I just want you to know it exists if you're having a hard time paying down your credit card balances. A couple more things. Average age of your accounts. If your credit is thin or young, getting added as an authorized user to an old, clean, high limit card of a parent or a spouse or someone who trusts you, and their account age reports onto your profile once they add you. And a long-standing trade line can add real points, and you never even have to touch the card. They just call, they add you, you never touch the card, and it will report to your credit profile, therefore building a stronger credit profile. Another thing you can do if you have thin diversity on your credit report is to do a pledge loan. This is where the bank lends you money against your own savings account, and then you pay some of it off, and then it reports as an installment loan that's been paid off. This is a really good way to diversify the diversity on your credit report. So here's the whole thing in order. If you have negative marks, remove those first through credit repair. If your balances are high, get your utilization under 30%, ideally under 10% before the statement closing date. And if you cannot pay it in cash, then move to a personal loan, because that does not wreck your utilization. It will save it. And if your average age is less than 2 years old, get added as an authorized user as soon as possible to someone else's card. Do those things, and 700 is not that hard to reach. Most people are 1 or 2 moves away from doing it, and they just don't know exactly what to do. So stop thinking about your credit score as a grade someone gives you. It is a price tag on your entire financial life. The rate on your house, your cars, your insurance, the cards you can hold, the business funding you can access. And if you love free travel, the entire world opens up when you master credit cards and points. Trust me, I've been fully leveraging this system for over the last 7 years, flying to dozens of countries in business class and staying in 5-star hotels on points. It's been unreal. But if you want to see how a strong profile turns into real capital, I made a full masterclass on getting your first $100,000 in 0% business credit. And I'll put this video right here. You can click it and watch that next. And when you're ready to start, the Credit Stacking 2.0 link is at the top of the video description. This is my mentorship program where I teach you everything you need to know on how to build the best possible credit profile and ultimately how to eventually access hundreds of thousands of dollars of 0% interest business credit. We have a private community. I host weekly coaching calls personally, and much more. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Please give this video a like if you got some value from the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to get more value coming soon on some videos we're posting very soon, and I'll see you in the next.